I hope you're having a special day and happy Thanksgiving if you're seeing this week. I'm going to be on vacation, so I thought I'd send you a video from the past. It's in cadence with the rest of our video series, so you won't miss anything. What we're going to talk about today is feature reports and how to dial them in from the beginning, and then we'll build on in order to go forward. So I hope you enjoy it. Have a special day. What I want you to do is I want you to go out and figure out how you want your address book to look. So just Google it, figure out what that looks like. We're going to warm your brain just a little bit. Figure out how you like it, because that's how you're going to make yours. I'm going to create kind of something like this, and then you can go out for your homework and you can figure out how you want to do it. I'm going to show you what this looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So these are the two documents that you're going to get in that shared folder. And these are the exact same template, but one has your fields in it, and one has the data that's in the field. So I went out and I actually took a good survey, because remember I was doing all those test surveys. I actually took a good one, and I added some information. All my husband's information's in there, all my information's in there. And then I did one where there was not a whole lot of information, but I did take a picture so we can show you what a picture looks like. And that's it. I'm going to show you a little bit around how this template on the left side looks. You'll notice that you've got all your fields. And then you're going to come down and there's going to be a difference somewhere. And that's going to be where your, oh, there it is. Right here, you're going to see that hashtag mark. That means that's the beginning of your repeat. And that's very important, because you're not going to, you need to tell your template where those are. And then down here, to close that, you're going to use this backslash right here, or forward slash. And so what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you how to get these templates, and then we're going to show you how to manage your templates and how to create that from all the information that you have in the computer. Now, what I do, because I love two monitors, is I'm going to have these two pieces on my monitor that you're not going to see until I start massaging something. Then we can work on that. But I'm going to show you how to get these downloaded. So you're going to go into your ArcGIS Online. Go up here to these 9 dots. Go into Survey123. And then down here, so this is our this is the one we're going to use for today. And you're going to start using these icons down here at the bottom. Today we're going to use the Data tab. And then it's going to pull in all of your data. Now there's a few things here that you're going to want to know. There's this form view. Now if I click on one of these fields, your form view is going to be this on the side, and it's going to give you all the data in a nice linear manner. Same thing, my one picture that's in here. It's just pulling the same exact data. Give you a little bit of information about what's going on this page. There's a filter button, and you can filter by last name, or just any of those normal things that you would do in ArcGIS Pro, you can do here. And when you're done with it, hit the little trash can. Report is what we're going to be working in today. Export, you can actually export directly from here, and you can export from your filters. So this is kind of a nice feature if you're if you don't want to download in AGOL, where you can download all that Excel file. If you want just a specific one, you can hit this Excel. Let's see, open in map view. That's self-explanatory. Give you a little information up here. This is just information about the survey itself. So how many surveys were taken. Design is going to take you into the web version. Since we created this in Connect, I wouldn't touch anything here. Collaborate, we've done that before. Analyze is fun when you're doing a class and you don't want to build a dashboard. You can come in here and it's going to give you a lot of statistics and things like that. It gives you a word map down here at the bottom somewhere. Maybe I don't have enough words, but anyways, this is kind of fun. I use this when I don't want to build a dashboard. Here's your data, that's where we're going to be. And then settings, I think we've already been in there. Versions, okay, so I don't think we've ever been in here. This is your versions, and this is just telling you, always use Survey 317, or do you always want to use the latest version? It's always good to say latest version. Webhooks. We're not going to get into webhooks, just know that that's a great tool and there are some really good tutorials out there for you. I might do a tutorial outside of the 16 hours just because I'm also learning how to do webhooks. And it's gotten to the point where now we can do feature reports in webhooks as of like last week. So now it's getting to the point where I want to learn that now. Before we were just sending data to spreadsheets and we were sending data to emails. And so one of my team members was taking care of all that. Now that we can do feature reports, I'm interested. So let's go back into, I think we're in data. And then what we're going to do first is go into reports. And we need to teach the computer how we want to see things. So come up here to manage templates. And then I did this yesterday, so there's already one in here, but I can delete that so that you'll see exactly what we're looking at. So this is the first sheet that you're going to see, and you can do individual reports, you can do summaries and combination. For right now, we're just going to do an individual report, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. Everything else we can do, it's summary is going to give you, like, if you've got a lot of inspections and you filter 3 of them, and then you run the summary, it's going to give you just information on those 3. The way we built our survey, not really necessary, but you can try that out after I show you how to do this. So create your sample template. And then what I did yesterday is I downloaded the template, and that's the one that you'll be able to see inside the shared folder. And then what I did is I came in here, and you see how it says the named template is already in here. Well, we want to see that with our data in it. So we can highlight one of the fields, and then we can just run the report. There's 2 different ways to run your report. There is a preview sample record, and that's going to say sample on the top. It's going to be a PDF, so you can't change it. And then generate. Now, when you do generate, it costs a half a credit every single time you run a report. So if I run one report, it's going to be half a credit. If I run all the reports, it's a half a credit for each of them. So just know that, so that when you're going through, you can also come in here and see show credits. Total records 2, credits required 1. I think I have a lot of credits, and this is how many I'm using. And what's funny is when we started class, I was only using 0.02 credits, and now that I've started putting things in the cloud, we're up to a lot more credit. But once we're done, I'll download all my data and then get it out of the cloud. So just know that really expensive data are your photos, because photos are very heavy and they take a lot of space. So know that those are going to be costing the most. And if you work for a company, what usually happens is your IT people usually manage that. If you're going to be having a huge survey with huge photos, because maybe you need, for legal reasons, you need the largest format for photos, tell your IT person ahead of time so they can work with you and maybe allocate some special space for you. We typically just have large surveys and I do medium-sized photos, and they know they're going to be in there. So at the end of the year, we can download the feature hosted service and get some of that data out of the cloud. But that's a whole lot of logistics that you can talk to me about offline if you get stuck. Just know that it's there. So here we go. So I'm going to generate a report. And so what that does is that's just going to suck in all the data. It's going to ship it out just like the ones that you saw earlier on my screen. So now what we can do is we can get back into there it is, all that data. And now what we can do is we can go in and edit this version. We don't need to edit the version that has our data in it because it's what I call a flattened file. It's not going to do anything for us today. It's just here so that we can make sure that we have all that so we can see the data in case we don't know what these fields are. And that's going to be helpful if you have 100 fields and you're not quite sure what that data looks like. So that's why I do it this way. So for family inbox, this is just the title, and we can call it something else. We can call it address book. I don't think I'm ever going to need to have my name up here. This could be, instead of submitted time, we could probably, actually, I don't think I'm going to need anything there either. I was thinking date printed might be good. We could put something like that in here. Before I do that, I'm going to tell you these headers and footers work the same way as they do in Word. So when we submit something, we can actually put printed up here and use this date and time. And we could just put that in here. So now whenever we print it, it should have the correct date up there. So I'm going to say save, get out of there. Now, when you're going through all this information, remember I told you about the repeats? What we're going to do is come all the way down to that repeat. Here it is. And what I like to do is I like to make this the same color as it is inside Survey123. I think ours is yellow. I'm going to guess that it's yellow. I use yellow a lot. So I would just say yellow. And the reason you want to do this is because right here we only have one, and that's great. But some of my surveys have 6. And so I'm going to make, and they have nested repeats inside. So they might have this yellow area, and then inside that yellow area, there's a photo log, because each site that we inspect needs a photo log. And inside the photo log, there's going to be an attribute table that has information specifically to that photo. So when that happens, you're going to have this repeat, but you're also going to have, I'm going to show you just so that you know, because later you're going to need it. Maybe that photo down there, maybe that is a photo log. So if that were the case, there would be another one of these, because it's trying to get out of 2 different repeats. And so if that were the case, I would come in here and I would add that as a different color. Most likely you would have copy, this line would also be here. And the great thing is it's going to download for you. That template's going to download. You just have to know that if you have repeats and nested repeats, this is what it's going to look like. So since we don't have this for real, I don't want to break my survey or my report. So I'm going to put this back together and do a little save. You see over here on this map right here, this is actually where I am. It's somewhere like that. We can actually zoom into that, so it's a much tighter zoom, but because it came out of the template, this is the standard zoom that it's going to be. This is one of the funniest things is if you don't tell the computer that 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 location is required, a lot of times it will be in the middle of the ocean. We call that null island. It's at 0, 0. So the first time that you start running these reports, you're going to find weird things out just like that. Mine doesn't, because I actually fixed it last night after I found out it was in null island because I didn't build the app that way. So this is the good version. You don't need to see the other one. But just know that as you're working through things, you're going to find things that don't make sense when you get to this part. So it's nice to actually build one of these ahead of time before you go live. At least do some fake ones and then figure out what you're doing so that you can clean up your survey before it goes live. And then something that I like to do, this one we're probably going to add all the data, but if you're doing a large survey, you may want to highlight the things that are important. So Marcelo and I are working on that DDD project, demolition project, and he already has a form that he's going to put all that data into. So probably what you're going to want to do with that, Marcelo, is go through and highlight, like I would say edit here, go through and highlight the fields that you need inside that survey or your that PDF or Word document that you have, because then you can kind of remove everything else. Just don't remove these special symbols right here, because you're going to need those. This is good.
Is there a specific way to create these templates, Michelle, or it doesn't matter? What matters the most is how you put this information to link to the survey to bring the information.
That's a great question, because we figured this out one time. We needed things that were inside the repeat before data that was inside the main survey. So you just need to know that if you're going to pull things from your repeat, you do need to include this, the beginning and exiting of the repeat. So you would have to say, let's say that we wanted the household email or something like that in the main survey. You would have to pull that one out. Let's say it needed to go after the address. So now we have the email that's yellow, but we also need to take the beginning and the end. That's why that yellow is very important. Most likely your form's already going to have the information that says email, so you probably wouldn't need that. I'll leave it in just for now. There are some funny things that go on, and you just have to check it when you get there. When we start putting this into the forms, your text is going to be smaller. So if you come in here, you can actually change your text. You can change the color of your text. Everything that you do here is going to be in your form when you actually finish your form. So I'll leave that as red and small so that you can see what that looks like. Just so that we know, I'm going to go in and I'm going to update this back into the app, because I want to make sure that that actually works. And you're going to want to do this also, because if you break it, you want to break something right after you build it, because then you know that, okay, that's the thing that's broken. You don't want to build your whole survey and then put it in here and it's going to say, yeah, something's broken. And you're going to go, I don't know what that is. So build little pieces at a time. So we'll go into the reports. You have to hit this recent task the back arrow, go into manage templates and add a new template. Now, I didn't change the name, and when you upload a new one, you do need to change the name. So I'm going to have to go in here and do a save as. And I need to make that smaller. On my work one, I actually have a save as button up here. Let's see if I can figure that out real quickly. Otherwise, nope. There's a way to add it up here. I'm not going to play with it here, but just know that if you put a save as button up there, it helps your life a little easier while you're doing this specific action. And most of the time I would just put like a Rev 2, just to kind of make sure that I know exactly where I am. So I'm going to select the new data. That's a lot of stuff right there. I need to go grab this and need to figure out where that is. Let's do save as again so I can look for that. Okay, it's in the class for today, so I can go find that. Rev 2, there it is, okay. So select my file. And Rev 2. And once I link this to that folder, it should pull from the same folder over and over. Now I didn't have any problems with it, otherwise it would give me an error right there. So we're going to save that. And I'm going to go into preview sample report because then I don't have to use my credits. Anybody have questions while we're waiting for that to work for me?
And when you need, for example, for this DDD Pros, we have 1,000 assets, we will have 1,000 reports. And
There's
how,
two. Mm-hmm.
how Survey deals with this issue to create a lot of reports? Is there any specific command in Survey, or?
There are a few different things we can do for that. It depends on what your customer wants. Does your customer want 1,000 reports? Or do they just want one report with 1,000 pieces inside of it? You can do both ways, and I can show you that. Let's see.
And another question, for example, if we have the client sent us a template of the report, and in this template, we have, let's say, little boxes to check the little boxes. And how we can simulate these using Survey? Is that possible to do that? For example, we have some specific contaminant that the people using in the template, for example, they don't have the Survey123 ready to use, just the template. And then when they go to the field, they check the box in the paper. But how we can do the same, I don't know if it's possible to, using Survey, check the box in our template. Is that possible to do that?
Yes. And that is a great question because it's Googleable. So I'm going to tell you, yes, I didn't add it into today's adventure, but I can add it for tonight. Actually, we could just look it up. First, I'll show you, this is what that email looks like. So you're still getting the highlighted. And then remember, I made the text smaller. And this is going to give you all the emails for all of your family outside of the yellow part down here. Good question. Let me go search that for you real quick. Feature report, checkbox. Let's see, template if then statements, tick box for Survey123 reports. All right, there it is. So he's having issues. Let's see if he fixed something. That's actually somebody's having a specific. It looks like this would be your code. So it looks like if it's like a select one or a select multiple, then you're going to use this selected text. I don't know if I have a select. Oh, I have. Let's go see here. I think I closed the other one, the template. Let's see, family. So I'm thinking, since this is a select one, let's go open up our Survey123. So what happens here is if it's something selected, so we're going to put this information here, in here. And you're kind of getting the idea of you're going to find some code out in Google Land or whatever when you Google something. And then you just kind of figure out what that code is and you put your information inside. So if maybe if Williams, make sure I did that correctly. Williams is selected, then I'm guessing Williams would be there. Nope. Okay, let's see. If I save that, let's go see if that is going to answer your question. Save as. Rev2. Do I have a Rev2 already? Okay. Maybe I have Rev3. Save. Manage templates. Upload. And Rev3. And then you just keep going back and forth to see what the computer does for us. So it was good. I like when it's good. Do another preview. And I think what that's going to do is I think that's going to give you a checkbox just for Williams. So if you needed several checkboxes, you just do one for each one. So as soon as that's finished, while that's downloading, let's do that. Next one, I'm just going to grab it.
But if you have different position in your template, for example, you're putting in different lines. But if you put aside all the options, they'll create this checkbox aside.
Yes, let's.
You need to put this exactly in the same position in the form. Okay.
I'm going to put. I was just going to do that, so that's awesome that you caught on to that.
Okay, so each one will check only the answer, even though all of the tick box are there. It will understand that all these options exist and will only mark the one that is in the answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's how
I want to see it working so I can.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Me too.
So this was the sample that we just did. It looks like, let's make sure that that was correct. 844. So here's the checkbox Williams. Do you like that? I like that. Okay, so then we're going to go and do one more. Manage templates one more time. This is going to be the one that's side by side. And you would just use this code inside the field where you need those. So your check mark and then, the piece of code, you just cut and paste that right into the field because you're going to have your Word document. It's going to say, whatever your check marks are. You'll just put your code exactly where you want that. Save. I'm going to run this real quick. while we're working here. Does anybody have any other questions? And then if not, I can run through the next portion while we're waiting for this. Are you liking it so far?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I love when a plan comes together. But that's how you Google things. You just go out and you look. This guy, like I said, Ishmael, he's the guy that he works at Esri, so he has a team of people. If he doesn't know the answer, he'll figure it out for you. Okay, I'll show you before we go on. So here is here's your extra check boxes. They're not, that one's not checked for this one. So you're going to have 2 blank check boxes. I hope you enjoyed that small snippet of feature reports. I know it stopped abruptly because that is a 2-hour class. And so what we're going to do is just continue down the road and keep going. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you find that you get stuck at any point in time, you can always reach out to me. Some of you have asked how you could work with me. So I've come up with a few ways that we can work together. First off, if you are a Survey123 Padawan Academy student, I do have a 1-hour block of time for $60. This is done in the mornings between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I also have a VIP day, which can be between 4 and 8 hours. And those are usually for team setting, corporations, things like that, where you have proprietary data and you can't be in a group setting. I have Padawan Mastermind. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on one complete project. The way that this is going to flow is that I'm going to send you your introductory email. And in that email, it's going to have the Excel file for our homework. I'm going to give you a video that shows you exactly what to do. It's going to be easy. Then what I want to do is meet with you for 30-minute increments throughout the month. And what we're going to do is we're going to build on all of that. I'm going to talk you through where some of those hurdles are. And then we're going to start working through the feature report, because feature reports are sometimes persnickety. And if you've done images and you just can't figure out where those backslashes go, this is for you, because I understand why it's working the way it's working. And it doesn't show you when you export that template quite the way that it wants you to use it. So going forward, you're going to get all of that information for a complete project. We might get into dashboards or web app builder or experience builder. I hope you join us, because this is going to be worth so much more than just the cost of getting in the door.